All right, we're back here at the WACO show. Hope nobody minds that name, but it just rings for me. Actually, I stole it from a band that used to come into Bushwallers all the time. They weren't WACO show, but they were close to it, and I'm not going to say what their name was, but they were one of the best bands we ever had at Bushwallers, and it fits. So
Yeah,
that's
we'll
what
go
we're
with it.
using
We'll
for
go
the
with it,
podcast
Mike.
name,
Yep.
the WACO show. So basically, if you've been listening to this podcast, this first episode, you've gotten a lot of information, and it might have been a little dry, but we wanted enough information to be out there for you guys to kind of know what we were doing, where we came from, what our purpose is. And now, this last bit, we're just going to talk about our goals, our future, what we see happening. And as we've mentioned earlier, we are starting at Mike Callis Stadium at North Hagerstown High School. We're very fortunate that we do have that facility, and that the Washington County Board of Education, the board worked with us, and we created a nice lease package for our first year in business. And so we were definitely fortunate for that. But this, actually, one of the first conversations that I ever had about this with anybody real outside of the investors was with Jim Kercheval and Dan Spedden. And they're huge in doing economic development for Washington County and Hagerstown. And I brought them the idea of, we need a pitch. We need a facility to do this. It shouldn't be a high school field with multiple lines on it. It should be a proper football pitch, and we don't have one in Washington County. So I brought this up to them. They were so supportive. I couldn't believe it. I was very thankful of how supportive they were. They put me in touch with a lot of people. We had a lot of great conversations. And two of those people that they put me in touch with, Greg Snook and Dr. Klauber. Dr. Klauber is the president of Hagerstown Community College, huge sports fan, great guy. Greg Snook is one of the big economic development guys, nonprofits here in Washington County, puts so many big projects together for the county. And those two gentlemen were so interested in this project. Neither of them really knew anything about soccer and how this stuff works, but they were interested in it because it sounded cool and it would be great for the community. Dr. Klauber wants to bring as much attention to Hagerstown Community College as possible. They're looking at revamping a lot of their athletic facilities. So those guys, we met, we had a couple conversations. The Maryland Stadium Authority has given a study about what can be done on that facility. Greg with Maryland Multisport and Dr. Klauber, we're continuing conversations about how we can bring a proper, small soccer facility for our county, for our community. It wouldn't just be for the Hub City Football Club, and it wouldn't just be for Hagerstown Community College's teams. It would be for all of the youth players in the area as well. So the goal is to have, a proper, small, intimate, and intimidating little
Like sports complex, kind of.
or this-
but for soccer
specific, absolutely, yeah. And kind of like the if you watch a third or fourth division match in England, just this town team stadium that's kind of there. It's not big and grandiose like other stadiums we have. It's just intimate, intimidating, and manageable for a small community. And then aside from that, having 3 or 4 auxiliary fields for training purposes, for youth purposes, letting the kids come out and do it. Those are the things we're working on. And the better we do as a football club, the more our community supports our efforts in doing that, the stronger our pitch is going to be to these organizations that will help us raise the funds and make this happen for everyone.
Yeah, it's hearing you say that, talk about the great stadium and the structure of it, but really what makes those great, and I'm sure we've all seen the videos of I don't know, some English soccer stadium that's as loud as can be as the fans. I mean, that's what truly makes it. It's something you can't fabricate or with stadium noise or whatever it may be. It's truly the fans, and I think a lot of U.S. soccer historically hasn't had that true fandom about it. I mean, we all see the German Bundesliga where they've got the 50+1 rule and the fans are super invested, but it's you couple that fan base with a stadium that can support that kind of environment, and then that's what really generates that thing to take its next step forward.
The atmosphere is completely different.
Yeah, and those videos are great. I've You guys all
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, they're hilarious," and even the small local ones that you're talking about,
Right.
it's just like a bunch of families and people just kind of going out, having a laugh, enjoying the game. For it's only 2 hour game. It's not like a MLB game before the clock where it's 7 hours.
Or
It's
an NFL game.
or an
it's
NFL
4
game where
hours
it's
and
TV commercials
9
every
minutes
5
of play.
minutes. But it's it can be condensed into one and create a good atmosphere.
Well, and it's embarrassing, quite honestly. And I said this to Greg in the last conversation we had. I said it's embarrassing that Washington County has nothing for soccer. Nothing. You go 15, 20 minutes east into Frederick County, and they've got so many turf facilities, artificial turf facilities, and soccer-specific fields. And then you go an hour away, and there's soccer fields everywhere for kids to use and the community to use. We don't have anything. And that, honestly, as a soccer guy, it's embarrassing. As a guy who loves Washington County, who grew up here, came back here after I met my wife. We came back and we moved our family here because it's such a great place to be. But as a football guy, it's embarrassing that we don't have something like that. So, regardless of what goes on, there is a definite push for us to work with those organizations I just mentioned, Maryland Multisport, Hagerstown Community College, Maryland Stadium Authority, everybody locally to make something happen for this area field-wise. We need it. There are softball fields everywhere. There are empty fields of other sports all over the place. Where's the soccer fields? Where are the true dedicated soccer fields? Hagerstown Soccer Club has their group, but that's theirs. That's what they use. And even those aren't Bermuda. And
Right. More rundown
Yeah.
facilities.
Right. We need proper facilities in this area.
Yeah, and just piggybacking, this is Paul, piggybacking on what Billy said. The way you can help, and I'm sure a lot of your kids have played soccer. I would imagine it's probably the biggest participation sport across boys and girls.
In America.
In
And it has
America,
been.
yeah, by a long way. And then it kind of just dwindles off into the distance. This is giving you something to keep in contact with the game. It's a cheap evening out. It's local. There's no travel time. You don't have to go to DC or Baltimore. It's not like someone said earlier, it's not 4 games a week. It's probably a home game every 2 weeks. Yep. Something to look forward to. Hopefully, maybe grab a dinner, beforehand and go out with your friends afterwards or something. It's a focus for a Saturday night. And it's cheap and available, and it's also, and I'm biased here. I know Mike keeps swinging from football to soccer, but being English, obviously, I'm calling it football. It is the most popular sport in the world for a reason. And in England, I can speak from personal example. Just people getting behind their hometown team. There might only be 100 of them there, but they're as invested as the guys that go and watch Liverpool or Manchester United. It matters to them, and that's kind of what we're trying to create here. Is it's not life or death, but you want your team to win and you want to cheer for them. And then if they don't win that week, you want them to win the next week. And you look at the league table and see where they are in the standings. And it's so affordable. And you can't recreate that feeling. I think a lot of, and I'm not being anti-American with this, don't have that passion about their sports teams like people in Europe do. And the reason we do is it's right there. And it might be our neighbor who's playing, or our son, or our granddad used to play for them. And there's a bit of a distance here, I feel, between, like the
Think about it.
Washington National.
Think about DC United.
Yeah.
When DC United came out, MLS opened up, I had 6 season tickets from the beginning for years. And we took the family and friends down there all the time. It never felt like my team.
No,
it's
didn't.
DC's team.
And it took 3 hours to get there, 3 hours to get back.
And the expense.
And the expense, and you're paying $16 for a hot dog or something. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And like Mike said, it didn't feel like a home team. It felt like I could only afford actually to take my son 2 or 3 times a year because of the expense and the time. This, and obviously I'm involved with Mike, but a season ticket is going to be a great investment, I feel. And we're biased. We want it to work, but I think I would love people here to get that feeling I used to have growing up about going to a game and just enjoying it, and a bit of nervousness, a bit of excitement, and then looking forward to the next one. And that's obviously what Mike's put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, I think it'll feel real. Like, it's like your neighbor. It's like kind of funny in a sense. Like you go out, you watch a play, and then you'll see them just sitting around town. It's not like DC where you go, like these people are bodyguards. They're going to walk out in the same car park as you, hop in their car, and drive, be in the same community as you, eat at the same restaurant, shop at the same stores. And they're not, it's not like that DC United or professional environment where it feels like it elevated above. They're going to be people in the same social society. I think that's a interesting thing. You don't really realize it until so if they play bad, tell them. If they play great, tell them that too. When you see them out, it's going to be. It should create that connection with the people that you see out there,
and they will want you to talk to them. This is how football in Europe used to be. It used to be, the players would ride the bus home with the supporters or the train. Now they get on their private jets or their Bentleys and Rolls Royces and drive to the part of town where you can't even afford to shop.
Right.
So we're trying to get back to the old days in a way, but doing it in
the
Hagerstown.
grassroots level.
But doing it Hagerstown.
Might get a beer with him down here in the dugout afterwards. I'm sure they'll be kind of after a Saturday night.
If you want to find Mike to complain, the dugout after a game will probably be a good place to find him.
Well, and the fans too. I mean, it's a local event, so you're going to know other people there. So it'd be a great time to catch up, socialize. While there's a game going on.
Yep.
So, and then like you guys said, catch a drink after the game and wind down and have a good time.
By the way, I'm glad it was just brought up about the dugout, which is where we are. Thanks, Billy, for bringing that up. We might as well go ahead and thank Court Meinelschmidt right now for letting us use this. This is one of the coolest spots, and I've always felt this way. Full disclosure, I'm a big fan of bars. And I've owned
He's actually drinking a coffee today. We might take a picture.
I've owned a couple, and this spot at the dugout at Viva's in downtown Hagerstown is such a super cool pub feel down here. We've had family events down here under previous ownership. It just has a great stone wall pub feel to it, and Court opened up early for us this morning to come on in here and do our first ever attempt at this podcast thing. So we want to definitely thank them. Support local business. In our social media posts, a bunch of the hashtags are support local business, support local football, support your community. And that's our club was created for this community and for the players. That's it. All of the initial investors, all of the ownership group, not a single one of us. And I'm working this as full-time as anything I've ever worked before, are doing this for a dime. Every penny that comes into the club is for the club. It's for the fan experience. It's for the players' experience. That's what we're doing this for. And if we make it to the MLS one day, then maybe we'll make some money. But otherwise, it's just really to give a great experience to everyone.
And I believe Mike will be doing updates throughout the season. Is that
We
the
will.
plan with this? So
Weekly, hopefully
weekly podcast.
Weekly podcast where we just talk about what's going on in the upcoming week, maybe some highlights of what's happened in the week previous, or a little bit of both of that.
Game recaps.
Game recaps. Our matches will be live streamed if you can't make it, or if you're traveling, you'll be able to still see the boys play. Our first home match at Mike Callis Stadium in North Hagerstown High School is Saturday night, May 30th. It's a holiday weekend, so hopefully you've got nothing else to do. You've had your cookout during the day. Join us at 7 o'clock for our home opener. We hope to have plenty of surprises and cool things going on. Unique food vendors for some snacks after dinner. Just everything we can do to make it a fan-friendly and fun experience for our community. That's Saturday night, May 30th, is our home opener at 7 o'clock. Full schedule has not been released yet. It should be released this week, and we will post that on the website as well. And tickets will be available on the website. Membership packages, which we didn't get into very much here, but that information will all be on the website.
Cool.
Any other questions or anything, gentlemen?
No, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll look forward to seeing you during the season.
Yeah, we're excited, and thank you, Mike, for having us.
Yeah, thanks, boys. I appreciate you being here. This is the start of hopefully something very big for us and for our community.
Yep.
Cheers, everyone.
That's a little nod.